you know the Hooterville World Guardian. Something earth-shaking every week. How about that for a headline?
Frog Pond Doom. Is that it?
Kind of makes you clutch your throat with excitement, doesn't it?
Yeah. You know, I think Sam Drucker's losing his grip as a newspaper man. Speaking of exciting, that's my boy, good old Steve. What's the matter?
Do you have to fly so dangerously?
Oh, that ain't dangerous. What can happen? He's only flying 10 feet off the ground.
Steve, what happened next? You were 40,000 feet up, and your oxygen supply had conked out, and you were losing consciousness.
And if it hadn't been for my CO's voice in my headset, I'd have ended up in the drink.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said if I crashed my plane and drowned, he'd cancel my 3-day pass in Honolulu.
Imagine being in such danger and able to joke about it. Well, that's the way flyers are, I guess. Tell us more, Steve. Yeah.
Well, once up in the Aleutians, the field was socked in. We were running low on gas, and the only place I could land was on an ice floe.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous already.
Them girls sure scare easy. When I was flying a Jenny back in WW1, we didn't even have oxygen tanks. Wouldn't have done no good anyway. There was no such thing as oxygen.
Let's hear more. Yeah. How many narrow escapes have you had anyway?
Enough. Look, that isn't exactly a pilot's favorite topic of conversation, narrow escapes. So if you excuse me, I have some studying to do on my crop dusting knives.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Oh, it's scary just being near someone who's faced death like that. Oh, it sure is.
Yeah. Oh, Steve.
Yes, ma'am?
Have you ever thought of going into another line of work?
Besides flying? Not really. Well, I mean, it's the only thing I've ever done. Of course, if things don't pick up, I may have to think of something. Right, Uncle Joe?
Oh, yeah. What are you trying to do? Break up my dynasty? You know he's the chief pilot for the Carson Elliott Air Service.
I also know that he's a fine young man, and that my daughters are more than a little interested in him.
That's right. He might just end up being your son-in-law. Think of that.
I am thinking of that. And I'm also thinking that I'd like to have a live son-in-law.
One roadblock after another. Wonder if Orville and Wilbur had as much trouble getting started.
Mom, listen to what I wrote for English class.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Asked to recall the most fascinating person I ever met, instantly leaps to mind the colorful personality of Major General Alexander Wilkinson Gibney.
Instantly leaps to mind. Who?
Major General Alexander Wilkinson Gibney.
Oh, him.
He was Steve Elliott's commanding officer in the Air Force.
Oh, well, I thought your assignment was to write about some fascinating person that you know.
Let's face it, Mom. Who do I know that's fascinating?
Thanks.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. But I still think you ought to write your own theme about somebody you know.
But this is my theme. I wrote every word. Steve just gave me the basic facts and helped me make it more colorful. Well, after all, he majored in journalism in college.
He did?
Well, sure, he was editor of the campus paper.
Oh. Isn't that interesting?
Want to hear more?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Alexander Gibney was first in his class at the academy, became a full colonel at 26, and today is in charge of the special wing of the Strategic Air Command. Isn't that wonderful?
And he was editor of the campus newspaper, huh?
Hi, Kate.
Don't high-cake me, Sam Drucker. What kind of a newspaper are you running?
Something wrong?
Look at this headline. Frog Pond doomed.
Well, it is, Kate. There ain't enough water left in there to dampen a frog's ankles.
You went on for 3 columns about those frogs and not one line about the fire in Crabwell Corners.
What fire in Crabwell Corners?
What fire? You must be the only one in the valley that doesn't know the ice plant burned down.
No kidding. Must have left quite a puddle. You get that, Kate? You said the ice plant burned down.
I got it, Sam. The point is, here you are running a newspaper, and a big story like this happens and you don't even mention it.
Well, Kate, they just didn't phone it in.
phone it in.
Criminally, Kate, with all I gotta do, I ain't got time to run around looking for news. If something happens, folks just gotta phone it in, like Stacy Whitcomb did with his frog pond.
Aren't you interested in going out and digging up the news?
You want to know a secret, Kate? I ain't even much interested in running a paper. It just takes too blame much time.
How'd you like somebody to run it for you? I know just the young man. College graduate, majored in journalism, bright, energetic. Oh, Sam, you'd be doing me such a favor if you'd offer him the job.
Steve Elliott, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he wants it, he's got it.
Oh, Sam, you know something? You're wonderful. Just wonderful. Bless you.
Doggone. This mushy stuff is kind of fun.
Get off of that chair. While you've been loafing, I've been tramping over this whole valley scouting for insects. Trying to get my dynasty off the ground. There ain't an insect in 50 miles of here. Oh, not them. I mean the crop-eating kind.
Uncle Joe, where's Steve? Where are the girls? Girls, Steve, come here. I got some wonderful news. What is it, Mom? It's all set to start tomorrow.
Well, who starts what tomorrow?
Steve, you're going to be the new editor of the Hootable World Guardian. That is, if you take the job. Sam Drucker says you'll be in charge of the whole shebang.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mrs. Bradley, but flying is my racket.
How many flying jobs have you got lined up right now, Steve?
You win, Mrs. Bradley.
No. That news would probably destroy you. But I'm all ready to put into operation a plan that will overcome her move. That's why you're only a dog, and I'm the brains of the Carson Elliott empire.
Sorry, Joe. I just don't need my crops dusted again this year.
Don't need it. Newt, look at your cabbage. Laying there defenseless, crying out for help.
I don't hear nothing.
Not yet. But in a minute, you'll hear the roar of a low-flying airplane swooping in over your cabbages, making pass after pass.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just releasing spray.
What for?
Kill the bugs, you ninny.
What bugs?
The bugs that are eating your cabbage.
Joel, there ain't a bug on the farm.
There's gotta be. You got green bugs, grasshoppers, mites, wireworms, grubworms, leaf worms, gypsy moth, aphids, ticks, ladybugs.
Nary a one.
Some farmer. You sure must have a miserable crop. Even the insects won't touch it. Hold it. Don't move, Roy. Oh, you moved and scared him away.
Scared who away?
The Romanian corn beetle. He was about to sink his teeth in one of your choicest, juiciest ears of corn.
Oh, thanks a lot.
But he'll be back. Them Romanians never give up. Roy, it's a lucky thing for you I just happened by. Them beetles not only chew the stalk right down to the ground, they go in after the roots.
Oh, get out of the way.
In a few weeks, Roy Turlock, you'll be standing sadly in your chawed-up fields while the other farmers are hauling their crops into market because they paid attention to the slogan, spray day is payday.
Come to think of it, I do have one pest I'd like to get rid of.
I'll sign you up for crop dusting. What is it, a chawing pest or a boring pest?
It's a boring pest. And it weighs about 185 pounds and wears a checkered shirt. And I wish you'd get off my land.
Okay, Roy. Just wait till them Romanian beetles come a-swarming down. You'll be hollering for help. You'll see.
Oh, hi,
No, he's out in the field.
I told you he's a real reporter.
Well, he ain't exactly reporting. He's delivering groceries.
Sam, he's a newspaper man.
Oh, sure. Only we're combining the jobs during this temporary slow period.
Oh. News pretty scarce, huh?
Yeah, well, put it this way. The biggest item since Steve joined the paper is that he joined the paper.
Oh, I hope he doesn't get discouraged.
No, I hope not either. He's a nice, bright boy. Oh, here he comes now.
Hi, Mrs. Bradley.
Hi, Steve.
Mr. Drucker. Mrs. Hendricks made a payment on her bill.
Say, that's a news item in itself.
Well, how's it going?
Oh, great. I just picked up a real stop-the-press item. Fred Ziffel is throwing a birthday party for his pig Arnold.
Well, that is sort of newsy.
Well, actually, it's newsier than you think. Fred invited the mayor of Crabwell Corners. Arnold heard about it, threw a fit, and the whole thing's been called off.
How come?
Well, the mayor is also the butcher. But seriously, I'm afraid this isn't going to work out. I appreciate the opportunity and your generosity, but I guess I'm used to a little more activity.
Oh, there you are, Steve. Say, what a tough break. I had this charter flight all lined up, and it fell through. The mayor of Crabwell Corners was going to this birthday party.
We know, Uncle Joe, we know.
Don't worry, boy. I'll get us something else.
Oh, I know you're trying, Uncle Joe, but...
Hold it. Don't say the discouraging word.
Well, he's not discouraged, just being practical, facing facts.
Well, maybe he don't know all the facts. He don't know, for instance, that I've come up with the greatest idea in the world of crop dust.
What's that?
This is the world shaking you'd better be setting when you hear it, else you'll go over backwards.
I think I can handle it.
What is the idea, Joe?
I'm mixing perfume with insect spray. Just imagine. You make this whole field of garlic smell like lilac sachet. I got another idea. Okay. You'll see. One day my idea is going to click and make us all another John D. Rockefeller.
Well, I guess my future is here. What there is of it.
Oh, now, don't be upset about the newspaper business. My goodness, that's the way it is. Sometimes things are very quiet, and all of a sudden, everything breaks loose. Right, Sam?
That's right. That's the way it was before the frog pond drain. Everything was quiet, and then bingo.
Exciting things are happening all the time. The Guardian is full of them. Well, look, you can take any issue at random. Listen to this headline. Gumdrop machine refilled at Hooterville Depot. Well, some weeks are more exciting than others.
All right. Now we'll see if you're worth your salt. If you see any insects, you point. You get it? Any bug. Grubworms, beetles, aphids, grasshoppers. And we'll fill this here sack with the bugs. We'll scatter them around among the farms and create a demand for crop dusting. We'll start looking. Got a set already, huh? Go get him. Go get him. Go get him, boy. I'm coming. Good boy. Well, I found a whole nest of them. You do a good job for me, you'll wind up as field supervisor. A whole staff of dogs under you. I might have known you couldn't handle responsibility. Field supervisor. You ain't even fit to be office boy. Well, this only means one thing. I'll have to put Plan B into effect.
Post office.
Look at my parcel post package.
Joe, I'm warning you for the last time. As postmaster, I'm telling you, you can get 5 years in Leavenworth for what you're doing, and as justice of the peace, I can give them to you. That ain't for you. from the Hardy Har Novelty Company.
I know that.
It's addressed to the president of the Carson Elliott dynasty.
Well, that's me. You're delaying my empire. Oh, boy. They're beauties. I can't tell them the real thing. Hey, you owe me $4.80. If you'd have dug up some real bugs, I wouldn't have had to send for these reasonably exact facsimiles.
Mrs. Bradley, are you sure you need these? You're not just ordering them on my account.
Oh, no, Steve. We've been planning this ad campaign for the Shady Rest for years. And I love the slogan you thought up for the flyer. Come to the restful Shady Rest, where you can rest and shave. This says it all.
Well, I'll get started. Oh, Mr. Drucker's out on a delivery.
Oh, well, you go ahead. I'll get it for you. Drucker's George. Oh, yeah, it's me, Sarah. Steve is busy at the moment. Can I help you? What? A story? Well, just a minute, I get a pencil. Okay, shoot. New calorie reports what? 6 striped cabbage beetles and a tomato worm on his farm. Oh, yeah, I wrote it down. And you call in if you get any more scoops like that, Sarah. Bye. Well, I'll admit that half a dozen cabbage beetles isn't the biggest story in the world, but it's a novelty around here.
Sure, I could put it under oddities in the news.
Hello, Druckers. Oh, it's you again, Sarah, Bert Russell's found what on his farm? 9 rutabaga weevils. And Vernon Mumau reports 16 potato bugs, 5 grasshoppers, and a sow bug. Oh, you do that, Sarah. That's what we're here for, to handle the big news.
Looks like oddities in the news is going to cover the whole front page.
Let me see that again. You know, Steve, this may be bigger than you think. This valley hasn't had insects like these in years.
That corn ain't ready for shucking yet. Why, you...
What are you sore about? I'll put it back just the way it was.
Oh, it ain't a-gonna grow now.
Oh? It ain't?
You broke it right half in two.
Good heavens, what is that? I warned you, they never give up.
Romanian corn beetles?
I'm sorry, Roy. You had such a nice stand of corn here, too. A few hours, you'll have nothing left but a bunch of toothless corn cobs hanging from green lace. Friend, I can't bear to stay and watch it. Working great. You're a lucky dog to get a first-hand view of a real brain in operation. You ought to be taking notes of this.
The valley's been invaded by bugs.
You mean mean the stories that Sarah's been spreading are true?
You better believe it. Radio Pixley even canceled Polka Parade so they could give on-the-spot coverage.
Hey, I better get out and cover that for the Guardian.
We'll take some citronella.
Steve, forget the story. You're a crop duster. You got to get in your plane and save this valley.
How about that? For a minute, I was forgetting I'm a pilot. Say, maybe this newspaper game really does get in your blood.
Steve, scramble!
Hi, Kate. Steve must have half the valley sprayed by now. You know, the publicity we get from this job ought to attract crop dusting offers from California, Florida, Oregon, maybe even Siberia. Don't you worry, Kate. Steve will kill every bug pest in this valley.
What about these?
What are those?
I found them under your bed when I was cleaning your room.
Oh, that just proves Steve's doing a good job. They not only crawl under the bed, but they crawl in jars and screw the lids down.
The Hardy-Har Novelty Company. Like it like insects fool your friends.
Kate, that's top secret. You let that news out and our empire will topple. They'll ride me out of town on a rail.
They'll ride you into town, straight to jail. What do you think they do to people who perpetrate a fraud?
Now, wait a minute. I didn't mean to do anything bad.
Oh, well, then you tell the judge you're sorry, and maybe he'll let you write I was a bad boy 500 times on the blackboard. I just hope that Steve gets off that easily.
Steve, he didn't do anything.
Maybe not, but he's your partner. Nobody's going to believe he wasn't in on it.
Now, wait a minute. Look, Kate, I'll take the rap. I'll go pack my clothes for South America. Hey, how about credit for an IOU?
I don't think so.
Oh, Kate.
Uncle Joe?
In here, Steve.
Well, it's all over. I dusted every farm between here and Pixley.
Well, do you want to tell him, or should I?
Well, you see, I think there's something you ought to know.
Everything to do with these?
You know already, huh?
I found out when I landed to tell the farmers there'd be no charge because it was an emergency.
You didn't collect any money?
No, it didn't seem right.
Hot dog, did you hear that, Kate? They can't do anything to us. They ain't got no habeas corpus.
How did the farmers take it when they found out?
Well, a few were mad at first. Then some said it demonstrated how valuable it was to have a crop duster right here in the valley. Next thing I knew, they were all signing up for regular service on an annual basis.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that? Well, I guess this writes the end to your newspaper career.
Well, let's face it, I wasn't exactly a threat to Drew Pearson. Excuse me, I want to tell Billy Joe the good news.
Well, you lucked out again.
Oh, I don't know. It worked out pretty much the way I had it planned.
The way you had it planned.
With a few minor changes.
That's like saying that Custer's last stand worked out the way General Custer had it planned. A few minor changes.
Guess who's going to be in Vertivision tonight? Here are a few hits. It's not that woman. It's not that young lady. And it's not that guy. Give up. It's that girl. Catch 6 back-to-back episodes of That Girl. Tonight, starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Only on TV Land. Now stay tuned for Green Acres as Hooterville Saturday continues here in TV Land.